Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 18th of May 1988. What I want to do in this video is finish off the layout for our new closed production town, also spend a little bit of time giving you a general update about what's happening across the map and tidying up a few odds and ends. I think this is quite important once your economy gets to a certain scale, because it's very easy to lose control of the detail, and this game does punish you with small mistakes becoming major problems. But before that, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. Usually you guys give me so much to think about. Now, somebody did post a comment which was a follow-up to a previous comment about my steel mills, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an update of the way the steel mills are actually performing. This steel mill here is okay. I've boosted the supply of coal, but the supply process still remains a little bit erratic. But to be honest, I'm not too worried about that, simply because eventually this will go. But it's in its, however, in its own way. As you can see, it's still got 14 tons of steel in their storage and a bit more in the external store. So in its own way, it's still kind of just keeping things going. The steel mill in Coalville has its moments, and one of the problems I have noticed, as you can see here at the moment, it says there's no coal in here, and the reason for that is that we've probably just exported some coal from here, and what's happening is that this store is filling back up again, and the problem is that there is no intermediate store here to smooth out those effects. But what should happen is, just pause the game again, the game's on pause for a reason, but it's still kind of pushing the steel out in its own way. Because I want to keep this steel mill, I think when Steel Town comes on live, I might rework this steel mill a little bit to try and maybe put a small intervention store in here with respect to the coal supply, because the iron will still have to be shipped in by train. So this steel mill will work in its own pace, but of course once the Steelton is online, the only thing that this steel mill is really going to need to produce for is producing the mechanical components for the helicopters, and probably any surplus will be exported in the long term. Now, the reason the game's on pause is that if I come into here, I've actually built an orphanage out here, but I haven't actually set up the delivery routes here. So what we're going to need to do is I need to find this Coalville main delivery, and what we're going to have to do is add the orphanage on here for delivery of everything. I think that's it, and we'll just whack that to 100%, and that should get food delivered in here. And the only other thing is we're probably just set up a refrigerated truck. I think it'd be the easiest way to do that. Just set up another refrigerated truck delivery to it. I find that using a standard refrigeration truck just makes it so much easier to deal with odd things like orphanages and that. So what we'll do is we'll just hook you into there. You can pick up the meats, and then you can come down and drop off there, wait until unloaded, get going. I can let the game run now. Got a few things I want to do, but first thing I do, I'll give you a bit of an update. If you watched the previous video, you'll be aware that I was working on this town here, and I started looking around a bit for where I could build another farm, and I got round to laying out another big farm here, and then it got a little bit out of control because I came over here and thought, well, what farming layout do I need here? Because this is where my food production is going to be, in this area here, in what's it, Litopa? What's it, in Litopa? That's probably the word for that. So I've now put another large field farm out here. This is another full 18 large fields, 6 medium fields. I think they've got potential for maybe not a full-size farm here. So eventually on this island, what we'll have is a food production town here, surrounded by fields. So this will be a true farming community. Also put this bridge in here because I think there's a potential to get another farm in this area, although The ground is a little bit rough, but I think we could probably get a full-size farm kind of in this area. I'm not really planning on building anything else here. That's what I've been up to, and I think we'll just accept the roads. And I'll give you a little bit of a detailed view of our new town here. So I've done a little bit of work in this area. Let's let the game run now. And what I've actually done is I've laid out this town here, and what I've actually gone for is ampere buildings, so that the town, because it's got a medium cathedral, I thought I'd give it a more of a historical approach. And just to show you what they are, it's these, if I can find them, I'll show you one here. What I've got is this one, I think, faces this way, this one's faced that way and in. And then on this corner here, we've got a brick house and a corner house here. And I mean, I did consider coming in here, but we got a bit of a slope. And then across here, I've got various kind of utility type buildings. I think this is the university. We've got, that's a house. It's a house. We've got a nursery block and a private school there. What I've also done is I put a hospital here, but put 2 helipads attached to it. So the hospital is going to be a bit of a contrast to the traditional buildings. And what we got is a full-size shopping mall in this corner here. What I've also done is I've added some helicopter pads to the fire station, because it suddenly occurred to me that with all these fields of farms around, it'd be easier just to provide a helicopter fire defense system for it as well. So that is the current situation. And I say what I want to do is finish off the design in this area, because what I need to do is put in a heating plant probably in this area. We also need to get the secret police in. In fact, I think I'll probably put the secret police in now while I'm thinking about it. And secret police don't mind pollution, do they? Actually, I could put it on this side, couldn't I? There is a bit of a slope here, so there's a risk that this might not work. We'll just put the secret police there, and eventually we can bring down the footpaths here. These roads all around the city centre are all, see here, they're going to be lit roads, just to make this look like a fairly wealthy pre-revolutionary town that's there. And then if we need more population, because I think I worked out the population, the starting population, so I think I worked out the starting population of here is about 2,000. We can put some more kind of more modern buildings out the back here. The first thing I want to really talk about is loyalty again. I know I keep returning to it, and I think I might have come up with a strategy. Probably Foodville would be more contained to discuss, and because my loyalty is still at 32%, and if I show you the there, you can see the loyalty in Foodville was dropped. And I think part of the problem was I got a bit of ambitious with the settings here. And what I've actually done is I've put the schools and the secret police below average, and I've put the university at above average, because I'm working on the assumption of the average is 32%. There's people here that do, but then again, this doesn't seem to be getting the professors in. We just drop that down a bit and see, that will improve it. If you set these too high and then you don't get people coming in here, not only does your education suffer, but your loyalty also suffers as well, because you've got uneducated people walking around with low loyalty. So I think, so that's something that I do need to be a bit careful about. I mean, economically we're doing okay. And just to give you a bit of an update before we do a bit of planning, Ollerton here is coming along quite well. Again, just to show you the loyalty. The loyalty here is only about 30%, and this in Ollerton I had set all the loyalties up too high, but I've actually corrected them now. So what I've got is the secret police at 30, the university it's at 30, but you can see we're still waiting for professors. I think that's partly because I was getting a little bit of an uneducated workforce. I think if you come in here, you can see I've got 173 with lower education and 2 uneducated workers. I think this is one of the problems with this game, is you ignore minor problems at your peril. The game does punish you if you do ignore them. And what It says there, citizens' loyalty is too low. Yeah, stop telling me that. I'd like to build that. We've got a few roads in here which I'd overlooked, which need to be built. This area here is kind of moving. We just need to get this processing plant finished, but of course that comes down to jolly old steel supply. The oil refinery here is doing reasonably well. It's probably the polite way of saying it. Up here, oh, the other thing I've also done here is I've got the road crew working on coming through here. I think I've sent the knife edge. No, this is far. The helicopter crews are working out here. And what I'm trying to do is push through so that I've got a asphalt road to the village, and then we're going to start building up this village here. Out here, we've got this is all coming together very slowly, but I think one thing I did notice is that I need a power source out here for this building here. Not this, that one, this one. Sorry. Yeah, because we're building this out here, but we don't actually have a power source out here. And I think we could probably get away with a small wind turbine here. And we can put that in there. We'll just drop you in there. 1, 2. Get that built there. So that should get that working. Now I'm going to be completely upfront. I'm going to increasingly rely on helicopter construction offices to get some work done. I mean, these guys have got lots of things. Well, okay, they've all just taken off en masse. Well, I've got a little bit of cash, and I'm kind of thinking about adding another. We got cargo to. I'm kind of wondering whether I should put another crew on. This one here is only 60, but I think we're going to go cheapskate and get a couple of these M16s. And I think what I'd like is another. That's going to hurt my cash, but what I really want to do is start working on this area here. Now, one of the downsides of building all this lot is that we've somehow now got to get all this put together. So I've kind of come up with a kind of grand scheme in the sense that I still kept this area here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, and the knife edge road crew over here doesn't really have anything to do. Got an epidemic report here. Now, one thing I've found about these global events, they don't seem to have that much impact, and I do wonder whether these global events have been added as a precursor for scenarios, because if we could code that, you could probably get something that's a bit more aggressive in here. And what I want to do is I'm going to put you. That's no. You move you over to here. Put the excavators over here. Where's the? You only got the one. Okay, we've only got the one open hole here. Okay, we've got paver and a roller and another one. So what I'm going to do is we're going to get a couple more open holes. I'm kind of spending the money as usual. Open holes, I want to get 2 of these because we're going to need to move our construction vehicles just before we move you. We've only got the one roller and the one paver in here, haven't we? What we're going to do is buy another roller. This one looks really good, but I'm not convinced he's gonna. What's the carry capacity? 816 tons. Well, we could go for an experiment. Okay, thank you, game. I mean, top speed 24, 178,000. Okay, we're gonna give it a go. And you can go onto there. I'll be absolutely amazed if we can, if we buy a paver and we load you onto as well. Yes, we can. No, we can't. Okay. You gonna roll all the way over to here. Oh, no, we got this guy here. We don't need him here, do we? You can get to there. You can into there. We get 3 on. Wow. So okay, we can get 3 on. Right. Now what I really need is some better quality dumpers, because I think what we got here is, well, you can certainly go. You're not worth anything. 10 tons, 7 tons. You can go. I suppose I could scrape by with you two. Move you over. I think we can just use these guys. And I mean, we've got plenty of space, so we could just send these over just to get things started. Okay. Right, I've got a paper over here that needs picking up. You there. And then we're just sell off. Yeah, you're just too slow. Get another 113,000 for you. And sell off you. You. And load. Oops. No. And we're. How much is the dumpers? 168,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And we're just going to send you over to here. Get you. You to there. You to there. And then what we're going to do is pause the game very quickly. Put you on auto search. 3,000 roads and factory connections only. Do you pick up anything? That's the question. This may be more than 3,000 away. You picked up anything? Yeah, not really that much. So right, it's picked up that. So what we're gonna do is get this guy. And now these are electros, so actually you can work on these as well. There's no reason why not. And we'll just get him working in that area. I've also got some odds and ends in another construction office here. What about power supply? What are you guys working on then? Are you actually working on something? Oh, they are. Okay. Well, they can stay there just for the moment. Now, before we do a bit more planning on our closed town, I want to check my rail lines, because these guys are getting very enthusiastic about what they're doing. Yeah, this guy is really pushing out this way. He's doing a grand job. I think I need to keep an eye on this guy, because what I've done is I've managed to complete this area here, but I don't really want to bring it online just at the moment. Another thing I am thinking about, and I'll be interested in any opinions, is possibly knocking this down and putting in a grain silo, so that maybe we could bring a little bit more into our food factory here. This guy is, I know I've got comments about automating this. I'm quite happy with the way that these guys are going. I mean, they are pushing out this way. I need you to do this section of track. The reason this is, I haven't electrified this track. I just want to get this bit done. Then we're going to finish off this area here, get this laid out, and once we got this bit sorted out here, electrified. In fact, is that electrified? Yeah, that needs to be electrified. And that means that we'll be able to get deliveries of bricks and other stuff coming into here. And more importantly, we'll be able to get fuel over to this area as well. And we've got coal in here. I think that's probably enough kind of wandering around. What I need to do now is sort out the heating. And what I need to do now is sort out the heating for this area. I did consider bringing a train in here, but I think it might be better to bring in a coal supply from this side. So we're going to put in, I'm going to go for a full-sized heating plant. Probably, I want it kind of fair distance from the town, because the town will grow this way. But at the same time, I think maybe if we just shove it out kind of in the boondocks here, like that. The trouble is I don't want it too far away, because we may have a problem with putting in the actual heat exchangers. I think if we put it just about there. Just want to check before we commit to putting everything else in. We've got something there actually needs heating. We could put a heat exchanger. It would be quite nice to put it just above where the security police is. Why is that there then? Well, that's the fire station. I mean, technically you can get away with not heating fire stations, but we're going to be generous. I mean, there's quite a big slope up this side, so I think if we put the heat exchanger about there, and we'll probably run in with a gravel road there, that, and just accept that. Go back to the heat exchanger. This kind of covers this top part of the city, so what we could do then is put in another one here. There's a power cable here, so maybe we'll just pull this back a little bit like that here onto this back corner. Again, we'll just run the gravel road to there. Now, of course, what we'll have to do is the big underground heating pipes go underground. And it's this one up here. Well, we'll start with this one. That's worked. And then if I take off one this side, go to there. That's split. That's no good. I connect this in. I've never done this. It's better. That puts the heating into there. We'll just accept that. That means we've now got heating into two sides of the town. Now, next thing is conveyors. And I don't really want to put a massive door in here, because all we're ever going to bring coal in here for is our heating. I flip that the other way. Well, that means it's on the wrong side, isn't it? So just have to put you, maybe angle you a little bit like that. Maybe what I'll do is we'll move this away, and then we'll put an intermediate conveyor in. Maybe if I can put it a bit, you could put it like that, couldn't I? And then we can just slip in oops, don't want that. Via pipelines. We'll just put a conveyor there, and then we'll put a I'm going to put you up a bit like that, if it will work. We're kind of cutting into the side of the hill, which is a little bit risky. I'll just put you there. I think we'll just go straight to electricity now. I'm going to run, what I'd like to do is run you into about there. Run you up a little bit further. We'll just accept that. What that means is that we'll be able to run a small coal train from either Coalville or from here, and initially we can supply the coal from here with trucks to the heating plant here, and that end we're probably on this road here. Pick you up there, you into there, run you into there like that. Then we can make that connection later on. So that gives us the heating. Now I put education in here. There's a university here. The two things that are actually missing is, well, beyond the secret, we put the secret police in. What we need is sport and the culture. Just come in here. I think my inclination is to go for an indoor swimming pool, and then maybe another one just over here. So we got kind of two indoor swimming pools there. Now we got to go for some entertainment. I think we're go modded entertainment. We've got the old opera house, which would be nice to look at. We could fit it on that corner there next to this Ampere house. If I can get it, zoom in, it'd be really nice to kind of pack it on the end here. The only real problem is I can't see the accurate line here, but we can put an opera house there. That will fit in with the style of the buildings. We've got an old cinema building as well. Well, that's a bit bigger. Don't really want to tack it onto the end of there. We could put it one, possibly, or we could put it over here, when they could go to the shops and then go to the cinema afterwards. So maybe we'll put the old cinema building there, and that would be our starting culture. Let's just move that over a little bit so we can get a footpath behind like that. And what I've done is I put this shopping mall in here, which is I think the same as the one we've got in this one. It's got a kind of slightly older look to it. Got this loyalty problem again. What is going on? I mean, I must admit, this loyalty is getting to me a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I've got people here. What's the average loyalty in this area? It still says 26, 28%. At one point this was up to about 40%, although I think part of the problem is we've got a fairly high influx of students coming into the residentials, and I also think what I've got is we've got some students getting into, I think I built one residential hall. No, that's the secret police. Maybe these guys need a bit more. How's your coverage? Let's have a look. Guys got plenty of food. I think I was going to kind of expand. I would expand in Ollerton. Let me just see what the unemployment in Ollerton is. Last chance to buy. Yeah, I mean, we are building this area here. Of course, it says steel, which is understandable because we've got. I don't think it's so much that the steel mills can't keep up. I think now it's more a case of the fact that their demand for steel all the way across the map now is so big that we need to get things done. Knife Edge Road Crew. You can just going to leave that there just for the moment. Looks like the trees are getting a little bit low. We'll plant trees in here. Maybe a little bit there. Trying to get this going here. But helicopters sat around doing nothing is a little bit of a cause for concern. I think what actually no, let's just do it as a joint. I think I'd like to use the helicopters to try and get some of these roads built in up here. I think you can get these in here because these are going to need electro components. So can't do that one, can't do that one. Okay, thank you, game. So if we tell them to build all round there, maybe give a little bit of an assist on that one. I think that will make a difference. What I've done is I put a large fountain in here because we're going to create this as a kind of town square. What we'll do is we'll just use the helicopters. If there's no steel, we'll get them to just work on these roads through here quite well. I'll just check our kind of new construction office. Stop telling me that source of workers is empty. I think what we'll do is this office over here has got the... Where are you guys then? What are you doing? Where are you going? Okay, you're providing workers to this area here. You're still providing the workers. So you're kind of doing a reasonable job, even if you're not. Just check what these guys are up to. Yeah, I think what you probably need is an assist with these bridges, because I don't think you've got the kit to actually build these bridges, have you? So you need that to be built. And where's the other one here? Need that to be built so that we can get over these, because generally they've done a pretty good job with the roads here. It's just that let me just see, where's the, what are you guys actually building? You're really concentrating. Oh yeah, I've put another orphanage in here. In fact, I think I will add another apartment block. I'll put the apartment block here. Maybe it is time to expand our community a little bit. Take a bit of a chance, because we are getting very close to getting this here. I think our train is steel. Yes, thank you, game. Got some steel just come in. There is part of me that would say I would like to, thank you, game, is to maybe import a little bit of steel to try and get a bit of momentum going in this area. I mean, we got the money for it, but at the same time, I'd like to build the money up so that I can buy trains as and when they're needed. Over here, again, it's going to be steel, 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 and more steel. But there's nothing I can do about that until I've stacked so many jobs now that it's going to take a long while to get everything up and running. And if I'm completely honest, there's no point putting together this town and the clove factory if we don't get these farms online. So once we got the road connections out to here, maybe we'll start trying to get this farm built. I'm just trying to get this put together as an overall concept. So, let's see the loyalties. Is the loyalty improving here? Well, we got a couple of 30s and 31s. We've got some 21s. Just not seem to be working. I mean, I could try and improve this, but the principle I'm working on is that a school is starting with very kind of low loyalty children. So you can afford to put a government employee in here who's below the average, but it's these universities which are possibly doing it. I mean, if we could get some more, I don't think this area is really high enough for this area. I mean, there is a case that you could argue that what you really want to do is build a center of excellence to get everybody going. Wow. We've got lots and lots of children here. And we got 16-year-olds, 2%, 0. Upbringing. It's almost like we need another orphanage, but then again, we've got this other orphanage over here, which is nearly finished, and I think that should give us, is it 3 or 4 orphanages? I think it would give us 3 orphanages. So if we can get this done, and it looks like all we need is a workforce here now, so we're just going to keep an eye on this so that I can set this up from the get-go. Because if we don't get all the food and everything else into, these guys seem to be sat around doing nothing. Building a concrete plant with no power. But you don't need concrete as such. I'm wondering, maybe you can make a contribution over here. You can do it. Yes, thank you. And we'll set the workforce to 30%. And of course, what we're going to need is, I can't remember if I've set this the cargo office here. Delivery. You're actually technically on the wrong one. We're not using this. But then again, he's got 3 slots, so didn't really need to build that. You about 100%. I don't think the amount in here is only 12 tons. I think we're just going to leave this. Maybe we'll just increase the propaganda a little bit. But the propaganda never seems to go positive. All you do is you enthusiasm for sport. I certainly don't want any enthusiasm for alcohol. These are children. Even if I give that 100%, it still won't. So I just don't see the point. I think what we'll do is just give them a little bit of a kind of a understanding for religion. Of course, we're going to need another refrigerated truck to ensure that they got plenty of meat in here. Just get another. Okay, we'll get a fairly big one so that he doesn't have to keep running backwards and forwards. Like an 8-ton truck. Actually, haven't checked meat production, so maybe we're. I know the loyalty seems low. Stop telling me, game. And you can deliver to. Yeah, we're really going to look after our orphans. Get them going. I've just gone completely the wrong direction on the map. and you can come there, wait until unloaded, kick off. Just go and take a quick look at our meat production. How much we got here? Oh, we're a bit low. I think the problem is we're at the beginning of a new cycle, aren't we? Which I wasn't paying attention to. So it's going to take a little while for this to build up and some more meat back into the store. What are these guys working on? They're working on roads. I mean, Colville is a little bit, Ollerton is a bit far away. I wonder if we can pull them a little bit closer to home. I know it's still long range, but maybe we can start to get them working on a couple of buildings or so. Maybe that there. Not exactly too sure why I put these footpaths in. I think it might be the thing. I think we can just sap these out. I don't think we really need them. So that's gone. The other thing also, ooh, we need to get these built. What's this here? And then that goes into here. I think we'll get the hot helicopter guys on this, because I can. So we need that built, that built, that built. Got an HT lead there. I've got absolutely no idea where it goes. Oh yeah, you're the one. That's broken. Is it? A bit worried about that. I don't think that is actually connected. So I think we're gonna. And I think you run out all the way to there. So I think we're going to redo this line here. Get rid of you. Because I was a little bit worried about the fact. I think it was only meant to be a 6 megawatt because it's only really supplying this farm. Although strictly speaking, it could come out. We could put another reverse feed line back into here from Nuclear City. Maybe this is a little bit of serendipity. I think don't want to go major, but maybe if we go 10 megawatts. Maybe we'll have to kind of zigzag across like that. I don't think that picked up. And if we accept that, let's double check this now. That's all the way down here. That's. We can now get a helicopter cruise on that. That means that that opens up the possibility that we could run a 10 megawatt line out from, if we could get a gap through there. If not, we'd have to run it through some other way. It's going to be a bit tight, isn't it? We get a 10 megawatt line through there. No, we won't, wouldn't we? We'll get a 10 megawatt line through there. How about here? We could get a line here, so we could possibly run a line through. In fact, we could probably run it something like, no, building in the way. What we'll probably have to do is probably curve it around the outside here somehow. Got a road here which goes nowhere, and might as well trim you off. Don't want you being built. It's, yeah, not really being particularly that useful. What are you building here? Oh, it's the underground power cable to this farm. In fact, the way things are going, we might be bringing this farm online first, because it actually seems to be going quicker than this farm. Maybe this will be the first farm that we'll bring online. Let me just see. Right, I've just realised I'm running out of time again, so we're just going to have a quick scoot round and check on things. We've got children in care here. We've got a little bit of meat that's keeping them happy. So hopefully we will get things going. My loyalty has actually dropped rather than it increased. Isn't that a surprise? What's the university here? Wow. Here we got, it says we haven't got the max number of employees. I'm just wondering if that's too high. I'm just going to drop that down again. This is where you've got to be a bit careful. If this drops and you don't notice, what happens is you don't get anybody in here to actually do it. I think we actually just need some more. So maybe building this is a good idea. We need more workers in there for the university, don't we? That's probably part of the problem. Okay, fire extinguished. Just check the loyalty here. This loyalty is dropping a little bit as well. Just wonder whether it is the numbers of children. These should be getting a good education. The crops are coming in. Just check our food production here. Food production looks like it's good. We've got a fairly solid amount of fuel coming in here, and we've got bitumen as well. And I think what I'm doing now is I'm actually exporting the bitumen from here. We got a reasonable amount of fuel in there. Just going to check our helicopter construction offices. We've got so many jobs, they don't know what to do, but they keep them busy. And of course, while we're here, we'll just make sure. Okay, where I can guess where it is. This guy is still pushing out this way. He's got a long way to go. The second guy is the one who's a permanent happy with what he's doing because he's laying the tracks in that direction. So that means that this guy is. What have we got? That doesn't look right. Something a bit odd there, but what I would like to do is get this section done next, up into here. A little bit thing about why. I mean, it's not important that this is not got a power issue there. I just want to make sure. Oh, look at that. We got a horrible little. I'm just going to buy that, guys. Right, what's going wrong here? Yep. Hey. Told you to. Must have been like two very short little pieces of track in there. I hate little bits and pieces like that. That's the reason why I buy them, because sending the construction train out just to try and fix those is a bit crazy. So we've now got a little bit of power past here. That means that going forward we can now actually get the trains working this way. What we need now is to get everything here sorted up to here. In fact, what I could do is get another train working on this point, but there's no point in putting another train on if we're scavenging for steel. And so I think going forward, what I'm going to need to do is just try and play catch up. Although in the next part, well, probably would like to. Oh, one thing I do want to plan, and would be probably something that we will be working on the next part, is our new. Put the road in here. From there, put a road in like that. Let's check very quickly. Yeah, that'd be okay. Is that good? The I should cancel that. What we're going to do is put the road in here like that and accept that. And what we're going to do is put our little mining village here, which will put it close to where our prison's going to be. And just to I want that built so that I can actually plan this area here like that. And then what we're going to do is jump right across the map, because there's another project which I've forgotten completely all about, which is going on over here. And this actually looks like it's finished. What I got is the helicopter cruise to asphalt down to here, so that what I'll be able to do is plan our tourist town here. And that will probably be the focus of the next part. So, but I think this is where I better stop. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.